Hello, everyone. Welcome to the February Cataloging Special Interest Group of koha-US. And I don't have a lot of things that were submitted to talk about ahead of time, but I know that we had been talking about linked data and BibFrame, and I'm going to put the linked data page from the Koha Wiki in the chat, and then I'm also going to put in a recording of a session. It was a remote session done about BibFrame. Let me go over here and look so I say the right things. From NCTPG, and they have the recording up, and I'm going to put that in the chat too, because I think it was a BibFrame update, but I think it offered a really good look at what BibFrame kind of actually is and does, and I found it very useful. So there's the Koha Wiki in the chat, and here's that BibFrame recording. And Liz says good morning to everyone in the chat too. Good morning, Liz. So does anyone have anything they wanted to bring to the group?
Well, eventually I just might get all our bibliographies and other things on the actual Koha server rather than have to use a third or a different virtual machine, but haven't done it yet. But I have sort of impetus to do it, which I don't think I should say while we're recording.
You can update us after.
Okay. But yeah, I haven't been doing a lot of cataloging lately.
Hi, Margaret. Did you have something you wanted to bring to the group?
Not today.
Well, I guess everything is going pretty well then for folks.
Or pretty badly, either one.
Right, we're all struggling and wrestling.
Trying to dig out from whatever it is. Actually, I have been cataloging books. I've been able to do them, so I don't have anything to talk about.
That's great.
Except for dust jackets. But...
Well, there's absolutely nothing wrong with having a very short meeting.
Okay, could you explain linked data to someone who finds even the term intimidating? Or is this something I need to go figure out for myself and watch the?
Well, I do recommend watching. I do recommend watching the video. Linked data in its most simple form is kind of something that Koha already does, and many of us have seen the little subfield 9 in certain fields of the MARC record, the authority control fields like the subject headings or the name headings will have the little subfield 9 with the authority record number, so that when you change or update the authority record, those headings are automatically also updated and changed. That's a form of linked data.
Okay, or is that to the DNLM something at the end of the 650? Something, could it be that?
That, if I am understanding correctly, is explaining the subject heading thesaurus from which the 650 came. I can share my screen and open one of those fields to show people. Let me get one of them up here before I share my screen so you don't have to watch me search and flail around.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get on top of magazines that change their name every 3 issues.
If they truly are changing their name every 3 issues, there's no shame in putting them all on one record with a note that says title varies and lots of 246 fields, I think.
Well, the trouble is people will call in and ask for, you know, a citation to a particular title. And if I haven't got that literal title, I don't know which of the Ohio groups called themselves the Nutmegger for a year and a half.
It can
Yes.
be, yeah, yeah. We can talk about uniform titles, but sometimes it just takes some flailing.
It's the trouble with uniform titles is that our patrons don't know what those are.
Yeah,
My life easier, but their life harder, and that's
yeah.
not what I'm supposed to be doing here.
Oh, 246s can be a beautiful thing. Okay, I'm going to share my screen here. Now, can folks see our Koha catalog, the staff client?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mad Ship, Robb and Hobb. And I'm going to go ahead and go into edit this record because I find it is a nice display to look at these things. So in these 650s, for example, Pirates Fiction, and you then see the subfield 9 of the authority record number 692, that is creating that link so that, say, Pirates was changed by the Library of Congress to piratical seafarers. All I would then have to do is over in the authorities module, look up Pirates Fiction. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I guess it's linking the main heading and ignoring the subfield. That's awesome. All I would have to do was go here to this authority record and edit it. We'll go into edit without hopefully doing anything. I would probably make Pirates a C from over here in the 450s and then change this to piratical seafarers. And when I did that over in my bib record, it would automatically change that. That's a form of linked data. Linked data can go further. It can not only store a reference like this local authority record number, it could, for example, rather than storing Pirates Fiction and this local pointer, it could store a URL to an online authority file like at id.loc.gov. And then I wouldn't have to maintain those headings at all. And when somebody searched and retrieved this record, they would see Pirates Fiction, but stored in the MARC record would just be the URL pointing to the central authority record. Linked data can get all kinds of fancy. So I'm going to stop sharing. And I really recommend taking a look at that NorCal Technical Processing Group BibFrame video because they actually open up their BibFrame editor and their normal cataloging editor. So you can actually see the differences and see what they're talking about. Melanie puts in the chat, is it a good idea to link to pirates and not have an authority record for pirates fiction? Is there a link to that? Ah, yeah. So forgive me if I'm telling you things you already know, but fiction is a free-floating subdivision. So you can put subfield V fiction after almost anything that indicates it's fiction about this thing. And so if we wanted to have authority records for every single time we use the subfield V fiction, that would be a lot of authority records. So it's really handy if Koha understands that subfield V fiction is valid. It's valid under anything. So we'll just have the link to, the main heading, pirates. Oh, link to the video. There we go. Thank you, Jason. Yeah, if you join later, you might not be seeing the link to that video. And then also I'll repeat the link to the Koha Wiki linked data page.
Hey, Heather, do you
Yeah.
know if camera's way off now? You don't need to see the top of my head. Do you
It's
know
okay.
if that sort of external linking to like a central authority is in production anywhere? Not just like Koha, but are other systems already doing that sort of thing?
I think it is in production, but I'm not aware of which systems are doing it. I don't remember from the BibFrame video if their BibFrame is doing it, but I know that it's out there among early adopters and implementers.
Okay, I just wondered because our authorities aren't in any great shape, so I don't know. I mean, like, if we could wait and just link up to central authorities and not worry about it, I think that's kind of what we've been doing since the beginning. So yeah, I mean, we're cleaning them up as we go, but it would be nice to just be able to rely on someone else for that sort of thing, for sure.
Yeah, I wonder every now and then where Koha can go with this. If Koha will be able to implement some sort of centralized standard that everybody's implementing would be fantastic, so that because in the 650, the indicators say pretty much what type of heading it is. And then if Koha can understand that and just store that URI or URL to that centralized file, that would make life so nice.
This sounds like a great bug ticket to hash out and throw out to the community so that it can get moving maybe. I don't know what it would take though either.
It's something that I've been meaning to try to learn more about. As you can probably tell, I have some understanding of it, but I'm still very vague, and I feel like I've got a lot to learn, but it's intriguing, and it would make life so much easier, I think, especially for smaller institutions or large consortiums that have different libraries using different authority file systems and thesauri.
Yeah, and I mean, if I need to watch this video you linked, if there are other things that are already able to do it, that means Koha can do it. We just have to teach it how, I think.
Exactly. And I think that's where I'd like to really read and try to really understand on the Koha Wiki, that linked data RFC, and then try to look up which bugs are talking about it.
Yeah, politically, it's going to be a lot easier to get your consortium to follow LC than it is to get them all to follow you.
But if there were groups of like collections, for example, you're so strong in genealogy and family histories.
Yeah.
And I know there are many, many, many genealogical society collections out there.
And they're all tiny by and large.
All tiny, but together very big. And if there were some way to...
If we get LDS to open up their authority files, simplifies everyone's life.
Exactly. Find a centralized location catalog to host them. The world can be your authority oyster then.
If I'm distracted, because I'm looking up a name. Anyway, which I probably won't find, but I am someone from PALNI, which is the Private Academic Library Network of Indiana, approached me to see if it was possible to self-host koha. And I said, absolutely. And he and Lauren and I talked for a while, and I've been urging them or someone from their group to show up at koha meetings. But this might be a good thing to have for, let's say, a consortium of 23 academic libraries who are sort of being roped together.
Definitely. I hope they can make it to one of the koha general meetings or come to one of our special interest groups, even the consortia one.
Yeah, the consortia would be where I'd
Yes,
start.
he knows about it.
Great.
And my mind has, of course, gone blank as to his name. Noah. Here we go. Noah Brubaker. So if you see anyone from PALNI,
I think
don't
that
scare him
name's,
away.
I think that name's familiar. I think I might have seen the name, around the email lists or the groups or the Zooms or something. Cool.
Yeah, I told him he had to meet you, Heather.
I tried.
Darn my vaccination timing. I'll get better about that.
Either.
Let me put it this way, on their staff page, they have lots of coffee. I think they'll fit in.
Yes.
Okay. Tea.
Nice. Beverages of choice. Well, one reason I'm really interested in personally off work on one of my personal laptops, trying to break the Linux barrier and learn more about koha on my own, is that I think that I'd like to learn more about implementations like this, like linked data and authorities, maybe experiment with the koha-US demo system and learn more about that. I know it could only help me in my work, but this is the sort of experimenting that I do not want to be doing with my live system.
No, this is what sandboxes are for.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would highly recommend my method to set up your own library or make a, since mine's running on DigitalOcean, I can just make a snapshot and spin up a new copy. Everything is the same except when I destroy it by making a horrible mistake. I can go back and do the original. And I think you've seen the Pleasant Valley Public Library.
Mm-hmm.
Took me an hour to set up. Okay, I have more experience than some of you in setting up and breaking systems. I have more experience in breaking them, I'm sure.
Maybe Jason, if you have the link to the koha-US demo system handy, pop that in the chat.
And Jason, if you have the link to the public side, I can't remember what it is. So I use port 8080 and port 80.
So just for
And-
everyone's point of information, we have the links in the footer of our website.
Oh,
For easy
great.
access, it's there.
Yeah, that would, maybe if I'd
Thank you,
actually looked.
George.
Never would have guessed that link.
And if
Of
you
course.
guys need staff access, you can just email info and we can get you in on the south side too if you want to play around there.
Yeah, it's about 4 machines down my list, but I'm going to set up my own local server to have a personal sandbox and see if I can, if it makes sense to catalog on that for a faster turnaround than upload.
Yeah, I'd also like to do some more experimenting with Mark Edit, but again, I don't want to be affecting, I don't want to be mixing it up with my work Mark Edit that.
Mhm. Well, that's when when I'm updating the author's catalog, I have one file for each step because I don't want to destroy something. And last time I made it through about 50 citations and I realized I hadn't downloaded the DOI for any of them. That was annoying.
Well, does anyone have anything else they want to talk about?
I can make 2 plugs, I guess. The first one is if you haven't renewed or signed up for koha-US membership, now's a good time to do it. One of the perks of membership is you get to vote on things that affect the organization. And we have a vote coming up on conference, I believe. So if you want to have your voice heard about the conference, be sure and get your membership renewed.
We're both members.
Yeah. Yes, anyone can be a member, even if they are inanimate. George beat me to, or Heather beat me to that one. There you go. The second thing I wanted to mention is that the koha-US Education Committee is working on sort of cleaning up, restructuring the what we have on the website. And I've been kind of revamping the individual pages and taking down dead videos, that sort of thing. So the new learn endpoint pages look like that. I put the link in the chat there. So if you have resources you'd like to share or you have videos that could be added to that resources playlist in the bottom there, we're happy to kind of add and curate and make our depository of Koha knowledge even larger. So feel free to email education@koha.us.org if you have resources to add or things to share.
I will as soon as I finish this long search about frostbite and limb salvage.
Yeah, we're worried about that in Florida too. It's been down in the 40s. It's just,
Oh my. Actually, have you heard of pavement burns? Is that a webinar a couple of weeks ago?
yeah.
More prevalent in Nevada because it's drier and hotter.
We actually get that from people coming out of the water and burning their feet on the sand.
Mm-hmm. I remember. It's nice, bright white sand.
I understand it's worse.
Does anybody have anything else or?
As usual, we're degenerating.
Right.
Yeah,
Don't interrupt. I want to hear about white hot sand.
it hurts.
Not as bad as black hot sand.
No.
Well, I think I'm just going to go ahead and stop the recording then.
Heather, you're welcome to edit this part out,
No, we're keeping it.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
Totally. And, you know, don't forget to join us next month to hear more about white hot sand. Okay, stopping the recording.